back to Cinema Cult. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
And this week we did Honto's pick. Honto's pick. What did you pick?
I picked Passenger 57, starring Wesley Snipes and Bruce Payne. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Major Payne.
Yeah.
We've all seen this in the past.
Yeah.
We were all very excited to watch it. Did it hold up? We'll find out. Stay tuned.
It's usually you can tell when we ask that question that you'll know the result of this, what we think.
Well, okay, before we get started in this, I just want to say this is included. We talked about this a few months ago about doing martial arts movies in March, and I came up with the term martial arts. And so this is the first of it. And then I'm going to pick one, and Matt's going to pick one as well. So yeah, Passenger 57 came out in 1992, directed by Kevin Hooks.
He's like a TV guy.
He's a TV guy. He's acted. He had a credit in Inner Space, and he has a name in the movie and everything.
Oh yeah, he's actually one of the characters in the movie, right?
Yeah. His name is Dwayne in the movie. Don't remember. But yeah, he's directed Lost, X-Files, The Punisher Show, Tales from the Crypt. He also directed a movie called Fled. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Stephen Baldwin.
Yeah.
Larry Fishburne.
I just remember the very last scene of that movie when it freeze frames and Lawrence Fishburne's going to hit Baldwin with the motorcycle helmet. Do you remember that?
No.
Neither do I.
I just remember
I remember it takes place in gosh, where is it at? It's in Atlanta. It's in Georgia.
Is it?
Yeah, we visited there.
We went there just to see where it
Yeah, we went
see
to
where
it was
Flood?
see where it's shot.
That's where they shot
Stone
the
Mountain.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it takes
You're
place
right.
on Stone Mountain.
Yeah,
I
you're
think.
right. Good
Yeah.
call, dude. Nice. We'll have to watch that.
Maybe not.
Written by Dan Gordon, who wrote Wyatt Earp
Okay.
and Surf Ninjas. And
What a weird credit to have.
written by David, I'm going to say this wrong, Mike Lowry. David Lawfrey?
Was it Martin Lawrence's
That's what
character
I'm
in?
saying. It's
From
David
Or Will Smith?
David Lawfrey. He wrote Star Trek V.
Is that Undiscovered Country or?
No, that is Final Frontier.
Oh, Final Frontier, yeah.
He wrote Dreamscape.
Okay.
And he most recently, I don't think it's his most recent credit, but he did Lakeview Terrace.
Oh,
Okay.
the Samuel Jackson,
Yeah.
Crazy Neighbor.
And then the story was written by Stuart Raffill, who he directed 2 movies before he wrote this or came up with the story or whatever. What I read was that I think it was his script that he wrote, and it was originally a vehicle for Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Clint Eastwood was going to go bury his son, and so there was some kind of terrorist attack on the plane, and Clint Eastwood had to stop it. So they didn't want to do that. They cut the script in half, and I think what remains is Stuart Raffill's thing.
Okay.
I think that's what I read. But he's got a track record. He directed Mac and Me, and he directed
Wow.
Tammy and the T-Rex
Wow.
with
it's just
Paul Walker. You ever seen
I've
that trailer?
never-
You ever seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
trailer?
yeah.
Basically,
I
it's
think I
Paul
have.
Walker who passes, I think,
Yeah, that's it.
and then he comes
It's,
back as a T-Rex.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I've seen this
that's
trailer.
totally it.
Yeah.
I
This
think
is-
we've talked about doing it on the podcast
We have.
before.
It looks very.
That with paired with Carnosaur
Yeah,
Oh my! Don't tease me about Connoisseur.
and Rawhead Rex. Is that a dinosaur movie?
yeah. No,
Okay.
I think it's just a monster movie.
Just has,
I've never
just has
seen-
Rex in the title.
I've never seen
no.
it. I've never seen it.
By the way, it has 24% in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I was very surprised about this.
Oh, so that means Honto loved this
Yeah, I was
movie.
gonna say higher or lower, Honto.
We'll see.
I didn't think the movie was that good. Into our cast, we got Wesley Snipes. Pick a movie. He was in dozens of great movies. Blade.
You know, I was watching this and I was like, what an awesome career Wesley Snipes had in the '90s. Between White Man Can't Jump, Blade, Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever. What else did he do in the '90s?
Demolition Man.
Man.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
he was on top.
he was. And I'm waiting for that comeback. I think it's gonna happen.
Well, you know what screwed him over though was the whole tax thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
tried
and he was
to
in-
flee the country.
Yeah.
Well, I read recently, like a week ago,
Yeah.
that they're saying that Blade they think is going to happen with
What,
him back in
Blade
the
4?
role. Yeah,
Oh man, they should get
So-
John Boyega as the Daywalker.
I don't remember that.
John Boyega's he's in Force Awakens and Last Jedi.
I don't remember.
Him as Blade?
Yeah, they did like a fan poster.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm talking. Yeah,
Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't remember. I don't remember that part. It's a movie.
What's that?
The way you were saying that, you're like, I don't remember that.
No, I'm just saying they're talking about getting him in as
I'm
Blade.
making fun of him,
Gotcha.
not you.
Oh,
you were saying all the right things.
I'm defending myself regardless.
No, I would think that would be really cool. How old is Wesley Snipes now? He's got to be.
He's
Probably
in his
early
50s.
50s. Yeah, I'd say early 50s.
Is he?
Mid-50s.
Last thing I saw him in was Expendables 3.
Yeah.
So, another actor, we got Bruce Payne, who plays the main villain. And I'm going to list off, we're going to play a game. It's called The Movies I'm Listing Off. Is it
No pain, no gain?
Is he a bad guy in this movie?
Is it the filmography of Bruce Payne? Or am I about to list off movies that Honto watched as a kid that he thinks were really good for the podcast?
That's a weird game. All right.
Dungeons and Dragons,
I've never seen it.
Highlander Endgame,
Never seen it.
and Warlock 3.
I've never. Oh, did he take the place of
I think so.
what's his
What's
face?
his name? I know. I was just
Julian Sands.
The
Yeah,
guy
Julian
from
Sands,
the guy from Arachnophobia.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
looking up
yeah.
Warlock movies this weekend,
Really?
ironically, because I've never seen any of them. I just remember
Because you had some free time.
Yeah, I didn't have free time. Back when I was a kid, I had free time now to look up. But I remember seeing the trailers all the time for them, and I was like, okay, what are these Warlock movies like? I didn't realize that, I think it's Anthony Hickox, who did Waxwork, does the
Hellraiser
second
3.
one.
Yeah, that makes
And
okay.
Hellraiser 3, he
Yeah.
does the second Warlock movie.
Okay.
I kind of want to watch the first Warlock movie for the podcast.
I've always wanted to watch it.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. I always wanted to check
Jerry
it out.
Goldsmith.
We
does
could
the
do
score
that.
for-
Yeah,
Oh,
he
he
does.
We could do that and Wishmaster back to back.
All right, as
Maybe
you
we can
wish.
just do. Maybe we can just focus on the first one first.
First Wishmaster, and then
No, Warlock.
we also got Tom
Sure, do you wish that?
Tom Sizemore, who has an awesome career. He's been in some awesome movies.
Yeah,
he is.
Just watched him in True Romance a couple weeks ago.
He is the saving grace of this movie. What usually? Okay, here's my. I'm gonna already.
I would say Wesley
I'm
Snipes is
already-
pretty good.
I just want you to know Matt's hair is like sticking straight up, and he's like, "I want to tell you something."
He looks like the
What if the world was flat?
he looks like the
hardball
guy-
with Matt.
He looks like the student in Ghostbusters who gets electrocuted.
I'm really getting sick of this, man.
It is just not your day.
I don't know, a bunch of squiggly lines.
What were you gonna say about Tom Sizemore?
He is like usually Wesley. I really like Wesley Snipes.
But
I think
you-
Wesley Snipes is boring in this movie.
Really?
I'd
I
say
think-
his acting is boring, but his martial arts is pretty amazing.
You know, I would say I would differ and say his
Dude, he was kicking-
martial arts is really boring.
He
in
was
this
kicking
movie.
ass by the end of this movie.
He kicks ass in Blade and
Yeah.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
But this movie, it's like I think all the confined spaces. Whereas, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like the way this movie would have been in real life would be like him kicking the ceiling all the time and him like
Well, I'd
smashing
say,
his
yeah.
elbow against the wall. Like,
I'd say
like-
the planes in this movie are impossibly huge.
yes.
Like, I've been on an airplane before, and they're definitely very small and
Yeah,
very hard to maneuver.
I flew for the first time last week, ironically, and the room they had in this plane, like even just sitting wise or
Yeah.
seating wise, there's not this much room in these
No.
planes. And I know they say at one point like this is a jumbo airline, and I'm like,
I think that though. I think that's why
I think
they
the
get him.
the entire airline was basically first class. You know, like the real
exactly,
first class.
yeah. We also have Alex Datcher, who plays our main lead,
Marty?
female. Do you know what she's from? Because
she looks familiar.
I did when I watched this movie back in January. I did, but now
She in
that
Ghost
I
Dad?
don't.
sure.
Oh no, I was asking.
I don't know.
Okay.
I remember her from the segment of body bags at the gas station.
Oh.
She,
Oh, yeah, I didn't
you don't remember that?
I don't remember body bags too much.
No, she was in that, and she was something else I didn't write down because I thought, Jury Duty.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Two great movies.
Body Bags is a good movie.
I've never seen it.
Kind of. Part of it is. We also have Bruce Greenwood, who shows up for like
Oh yeah, I did
5 minutes.
I
Yeah.
recognize him in the beginning. He definitely doesn't look like Bruce Greenwood in the beginning, but he definitely looks like him in the end.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
a lot of people said that.
Yeah, I think it was in the IMDb trivia.
It was filmed over 3 years.
We also got Robert Hooks, who was in Star Trek 3, and he's in a movie I've always wanted to watch called Trouble Man. It's a blaxploitation film that Marvin Gaye did the entire soundtrack to.
Okay.
He's the guy that comes in towards like the end of the movie.
Oh, is he the cop or?
He's kind of like the head or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That
He
gets
gets-
Wesley Snipes
he gets
out
hit
of
in the arm.
custody.
Oh,
yeah, he gets shot in the arm.
Okay. Yep.
Elizabeth Hurley, in one of her first roles,
it's her
if not her
first,
first role.
I think this is her first role.
I think he took his wallet.
And she's like not wearing any makeup through. I was what I'm thinking in this movie, right?
Is that, what you were focusing on?
Yeah.
This entire
I just
movie?
think she looks so damn young. I think that's what you're probably.
Yeah.
Is it?
looking
Well, she's
at.
a model. That's like what she's known for, right?
Yeah.
Is she known for being a model
At
before
this point, I don't know.
Because this is like around the time she's dating Hugh Grant, right?
I don't know. I'm halfway through a biography, so I'll let you know.
Yeah. I'm halfway through a biography. But like, so she like kind of dresses down for the part. Like, I feel like
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I'm just insulting her.
That's what it sounds
Oh
like.
man, no makeup today.
good for you.
Good for you.
We also got
God.
Michael Horse from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never even watched Twin Peaks, and that's where I knew him
He's
from.
one of the deputies. That's
Dude,
like,
you're listing everybody off in this movie, and I can't remember who you're talking
and
about.
the grandma was also in. Who's
Twin Peaks?
No, I'm just.
Oh, I didn't write
You're
that
listening
down.
through everybody.
So
No, I
I
was given 7 people.
So I'm having a rough time. I'm gonna bring this up in my podcast.
Yeah, please.
I feel like I watched this movie. We talked about doing this movie back in
Matt
January.
jumped the gun.
The day we announced it, Matt went home and watched this movie.
No, I watched it because I was like, oh wait, we're doing the podcast on it like next week because we did Valentine and we were gonna do Passenger 57 like right after. I was like, sweet. And I watched Passenger 57 back in January, expecting we were gonna do the podcast on it. We haven't touched it since.
But I think it's because we all got. Well, I got sick for sure. I was out of the commission for a few weeks, and
I lost my notes. And now that you're saying all these people in this movie, I'm like, I'm trying to think about.
Okay. So the guy from Twin Peaks, who is he in Twin Peaks?
He's
without giving anything away.
Deputy Hawk.
Deputy Hawk.
That's
Okay.
sorry.
Oh,
he is.
Spoiler.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Well, I didn't want you to be like, he's the one that killed her. And I'm like, I didn't know. We also have Mark Macaulay, who is one of the villains as well. And he was in The Punisher, the Thomas Jane one.
Okay.
He was, I think he's the one that's the right-hand man to John Travolta, who ends up being gay and they have that whole plot. That's not him?
No, it's Will Patton.
Will Wheaton?
No.
All right, moving on. So let's go ahead. This movie made $44 million. And in today's money, I did the conversion. It was almost $100 million. So this was a hit.
Okay.
This is a big
Sure.
movie. What do you mean, sure?
I'm agreeing with you.
Numbers don't lie. It was made for $15 million. So
Cool.
it definitely made money. So let's go ahead and jump into this movie. I love the opening credits of it.
It feels like a James Bond movie.
It feels like James Bond meets Lethal Weapon.
Ooh, yeah, the sexy saxophone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of saxophone in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of saxophone. Yeah, really cool opening credits, and then we cut to our main villain, which I don't even know what his name was in this.
Rain.
His
His name is
Bruce,
Payne.
Bruce Payne in real life, and his
My name is Rain.
his character name is Charles Rain.
Dude, this guy is everything he says is a one-liner. And
Yeah.
Dude.
He
Yeah,
gets really inappropriate towards the end, though.
Oh yeah, we'll get to
It
it.
gets really
Yeah,
bad.
everything
opening-
he says is so overdramatic.
It is this opening scene. He's getting surgery.
There will be no pain.
Yeah,
Because my last name is Payne.
well, no, he's getting surgery in the beginning. 'Cause I guess he's gonna get his face changed so he can hide his identity.
He apparently
Yeah.
changes his face all the time.
Oh really?
That's like his thing is like, oh god, he's changing his face again.
I didn't know that.
That's what they
that
say.
would've been really
like,
cool.
when they're doing the sting operation. Like everyone's like storming in.
Yeah.
They're like he's on the plastic surgery wing, which is on the whatever It's like he's getting his face changed again. I'm like, how many times has this guy changed
That's
his
the
face?
plot from Die Another Day.
Is it really?
I just remember the bad
He
guy.
only changed his face once,
I
right?
know. So
Yeah, which is kind of weird because isn't he?
Oh,
He's like North Korean,
He's
right?
North Korean in the beginning, and then he's just a British man by the end.
yeah,
Which-
it's very confusing.
Yeah.
But no, he's getting surgery, and the surgeon asks him, he's like, "Hey, do you want to look at your face in the mirror one last time?" And the main villain's like, "I never look in the past." And I'm like, and that is like the start of every one-liner
Yeah.
he says, because
Yeah.
everything is like, they're gonna give him anesthesia for the
And he says,
the
"Nope,
surgery,
there will
and
be
he's
no
like,
pain."
"There will be no pain." And I'm like, dude, no one talks like this.
Yeah.
I know. I'd be so frustrated. Can you imagine asking him questions, just like general stuff, and you get answers like this all the time? And you're like, God, just answer the question.
If he worked in like an office with them and like, "Hey, did you get those TPS reports done?"
There will be no TPS reports.
No, I need to know because my job's on the line.
Your job is on the line. I just said that.
Aren't we all on the line? That's over the line. Will you please answer my question?
So the whole thing is there's this big sting operation. The surgeon's in on it and everything, and they're going to go in and bust him. And one thing I thought was stupid is the doctor's like, "All right, let's begin the surgery." And he goes to cut the guy's face. And there's no, like, I'm not a surgeon. Never have been. There's no lines or anything on his face to be like, if you're going to convince this
like,
guy.
is he wearing even like scrubs? Or is he just
No,
wearing
I
a
don't think he's
suit?
wearing any.
He's
like,
wearing overalls.
I don't even think he's wearing any gloves on his hands.
Yeah, I know, right?
Make me look like a farmer.
Give me a couple of acres.
Give me a. I don't get it.
So the main villain realizes, okay, the surgeon's really nervous, something's going on, and he ends up cutting a surgeon's throat,
Yeah.
runs down the hall and jumps out the window,
Was it like 3 or 4 floors up?
lands on an umbrella. Very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has anybody ever landed on an umbrella before? Does it
I'm
really
sure-
break your fall like it does in the movies?
I don't think so.
They make umbrellas look like they always break people's falls. Like
As
yeah,
long as
you
it's like
fall on 'em.
something, it like cushions the fall.
I
Oh,
guess.
like if it's rocks?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if it was rocks, then it cushions the fall.
It's true.
I just imagine his kneecaps like exploding on impact, and he's just screaming like,
Could you imagine just like meeting up with like your girlfriend or like a coworker for lunch, and then just somebody drops right in front, like through the umbrella above you?
Yeah.
His legs broken, everything, just blood everywhere.
"Get the surgeon!" Dude, you cut his throat like 5 minutes ago.
There'll be no pain! There'll be no pain! Yeah, he jumps out and runs off, and he ends up getting caught by the FBI. We cut to Snipes, who is... They kind of play it off like they're in this plane,
Yeah.
and Wesley Snipes is taking the plane hostage. And so he grabs the stewardess, and she gets out of the mess, and we find out that it's like a simulation because he runs...
He's like basically in-flight security,
Yeah.
like training scenarios, or if there's like a terrorist situation.
And he's
Which
this is what was kind of goofy. They stated this a couple times.
How much he
They're
hates to fly.
No, they're like, "You're the best of the best," and I was like, "You're the best in this." I was like, it's very specific. I was like, "What qualified you as the best of the best in this field?"
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I don't understand either. Is throughout the movie, all he talks about, he's like, I hate flying. He's like, I get really sick. He's like, I don't. And I'm like,
the
why
man
are-
got
for
the
the job.
shits.
He's the man for the job.
Look, I'm gonna be in the bathroom for most of this.
You're the best of the best.
Now go shit. So we find out it's a simulation, and Snipes is not happy because the stewardess did something.
She risked everything.
Yeah.
To
And
stomp on his foot.
this is Marty, our main female lead.
I like her.
I do. I think she's good in this.
I like her.
Oh God.
That's what it sounded like to me. Like,
Yeah.
So they work for the counterterrorism unit. Tom Sizemore kind of runs it, or I think he's Wesley Snipes' superior. I'm not sure.
he's like his friend. Right? It gets him a job, or
Bring your friend to work day.
I get a referral, $300.
and he looks like Tom Sizemore from like Natural Born Killers.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
He does. Because it's pretty similar. I mean, that's what, a year or two off, I think.
Yeah.
But like suit and everything, same suit.
Yeah. So Tom Sizemore brings up some line about Lisa. And we don't know who Lisa is, but we think it's like Wesley Snipes' girlfriend or something like that. We find out here in a little bit. But there's a point where they're escorting the villain to the prison, and he's talking to his lawyer. We find out that this main villain, like, bombs airlines all the
Yeah,
time.
he's like a serial bomber, I guess.
So we're gonna put him on a plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is well, the thing is, they sit there and he goes to the lawyer and he like grabs him in like this chokehold and he's like, "Repeat after me. A child's brain is not insane." And they just repeat it back over and over.
Yeah, because
And
doesn't he ask him about his child? They keep like asking about his childhood or something, and like
It's
all just like an unsung plot thread.
they're trying to give him some backstory.
He's crazy
and I'm
because
not-
something happened to him when he was a child.
And I don't think that's on him. I think he does a good job with this.
Yeah, he's
I think
like a
he's a good
terrifying dude.
villain.
Yeah.
He's a very good villain in this. But then this next scene, we do find out like Snipes is like meditating and doing his
He has
martial arts.
one of the best apartments I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's cool as hell looking.
He's got like all kinds of workout equipment,
Yeah.
and then he's like just raining. He's got like the apartment from The Crow, you know, like the window.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Where
know
he does,
exactly
like-
what you're talking
He
about.
like hangs and does like little backflips and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
Yeah,
know exactly what you're talking about. And while he's meditating, we have this flashback, which is a pretty intense scene, where him and his girlfriend, or his wife Lisa, went to a convenience store and he tried to stop a robbery, and she ended up getting shot and killed. And I think that's very similar to Lethal Weapon. Where
Is that
you
what
got-
happens to?
No. I just mean like the whole like
I'm a broken man.
he lost. Yeah, I'm a broken man.
Yeah.
But they should have done more of the broken man with Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes. They could have done a lot more and made
Yeah, they-
him.
Yeah,
Totally.
he sees that waitress or the stewardess, and he's like immediately like,
Yeah, what's
"What
her name?
wife?"
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he calls her Lisa once,
Which I really like.
and then she asks him about what happened, and then that's the end of the Lisa story.
I thought that was a really cool scene though, because like I heard it and I was like, oh man, did they just fuck up on the
He's like,
movie?
you.
But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and then they brought it back up, and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of a cool little
Yeah.
thing to have in there.
I did like that a lot.
Good
Um,
story thread.
So this next day, Snipes shows up to lunch, and I'll tell you what, there is a lot of Dave Matthews instrumental songs in here.
There's a lot of funky bass lines and like saxophone.
Dude, it
and-
sounds like Dave throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Satellite.
Passenger 57. And they have a meeting about the airlines. This is like one of Bruce Greenwood's like 2 scenes in this movie, and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna be the VI or the vice president now." And like, cool.
Of security, in-flight security.
We gotta get you on this flight. I don't like flying. You're the man. You're the best of the best.
Yeah.
And so he gets up on the plane, and this is when we meet like everybody in the movie. We got like Elizabeth Hurley.
They show like basically all the terrorists like hopping on the plane.
Yeah. So it's one of those things like, and I'll tell you what. So they get on the plane at 22 minutes.
Okay.
And Matt made a comment saying they're really not on the plane in this movie. They're on the plane for 20 minutes.
Wow.
Are they really?
And yeah, it was like 21
Like
minutes.
how you're
or
just
something
finding
like
this out for the first time.
No, I talked to him about it. I was like, man, I thought they were on the plane more. Because I kept thinking of Executive Decision, and I kept thinking of Air Force One.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, there's plenty of, like, space. And there's plenty of like, screen time that you can have on an airplane, right?
Oh, totally.
But, like, I think... Like, maybe the airplane was just too small, and they're like, yeah, we don't really know where to go with this, and let's get him off. Because like, that's what I mean. It's martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta get him in open spaces so he can float, do his all karate moves and everything.
Yeah, and I wonder if that changed, because it's like, it went from Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
I think if it was Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
it would have been more on an airplane. Because it's Wesley Snipes, and he does fight,
I'll give you that. Yeah.
they were like, we can't put him on the airplane the whole time, because he's got nowhere to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they would have kept him on the airplane the entire time, and had the airplane been realistic, it would have been like the trailer park fight in Raising Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be like elbows against the wall, and feet and ceiling.
I love that fight scene a lot.
It's the best is when he scrapes his hands on
Yeah.
I think like maybe if they even changed it up where none of them had guns.
Yeah.
And just they all had wet knives, because they are in an
Wet
airplane.
knives?
Wet
Wet-
knives.
You're about to fight me? You better wet that knife first.
Idiot.
Idiot. But like, I feel like if they would have had that, then there would be more opportunity to fight.
I mean, like...
Because like guns are stupid.
Yeah, guns are really stupid in
Guns
real
are
life.
guns are
Dude,
fools.
it would have been
No,
great
but
if they all had rocket launchers.
Oh, man, just dodging rockets the entire time.
this is-
Dude, and you could have...
Just so many
it sounds
explosions.
like a cheat code you punch into a video game. It's called like you punch in a cheat code called Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Like, Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Like,
Everybody
So
has
it's like-
rockets.
so it's like even in like the cinematic cutscenes, it's just like they're like having conversations.
The plane like disappears within like 3 seconds. Dude, you know what could have been a really cool scene in this movie? A really cool parachuting scene.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why they did that movie Drop Zone.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Later.
what year is Drop Zone?
It's after this. I know
Okay.
that.
Yeah, it's like
Never mind.
95,
But
I
yeah,
think.
you could have some really cool like them at the end of the movie, like
I
they're
bet
both
you-
flying out.
I bet you it was Paramount like doing the same thing. It's like, man, what were we lacking in Passenger 57? Parachutes. Do another movie with Wesley Snipes.
Well, that's the thing though. With the movie, they can't blow out the airlock.
They do it at the end.
They do at the end, but they can't do it.
Yeah.
Like they have to build up to it, so they couldn't do a parachute scene because everybody else would get sucked out of the plane. Just be Wesley
say,
Snipes.
have you
in
noticed-
a
That's
parachute.
True.
Have you noticed in every airplane movie, like where there's like a terrorist, they have to do that? That happens in literally every movie.
Oh man, Goldfinger.
It happens like I think twice
Air Force
in
One.
Twice in Drop Zone.
I think it happened.
I never saw Drop Zone.
I
Drop
never
Zone's
saw.
pretty good. It has Gary Busey as the main bad guy.
Oh,
it
really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then he's also parachuting. So,
Does this happen in Executive Decision?
oh yeah, the very end. There's like 50 people that fly out in Executive Decision.
Oh my god,
Yeah, it's
I haven't
crazy.
seen that movie since
Oh,
it came out.
also happens in Harold and Kumar too.
Yep.
Oh, crazy.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
just gotta blow the airlock.
Is that your next movie for martial arts?
Aliens.
Yeah, airplane movies.
Aliens, airplane. So now at this point in the movie, we have Snipes, we have all the main villain on the plane. They're transporting him to maximum. Oh no, they're taking him to Texas. I think they say something about the death penalty or something.
Oh, they're the only ones that will hang people still.
But yeah, it's and then we cut to this kid who points his fingers at the main villain. This kid's probably like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he does like these gun motions to the bad guy, and the bad guy acts like he gets killed.
Yeah.
And he does it back, and the kid turns around in like fear. And I like to imagine this little boy was the same little boy in Kindergarten Cop when Arnold Schwarzenegger broke the pencil when the kid wouldn't stop moving.
Yeah.
And I just imagine this kid rides on these planes all the time, and he gets terrorized by these people, and he's like, "Yeah, you got the pencil breaking guy." And
I forgot about that scene. I remember when I was a kid and I found out that I could break a pencil like that. I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm as strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually adorable.
What's so intimidating about that?
So they all take off, and this is when Snipes gets like kind of woozy, and he goes up to the stewardess, and he's like, "Look, I want to apologize for the other day. I get really sick on planes. Please just check on me for the entire plane because I'm the best of the best." And so Marty's decision is to sit this old white lady next to Wesley Snipes.
It's basically his biggest fan.
Yeah, and I do like this whole
I
thing.
like this.
Because she thinks that it's Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
And it might be my favorite part of the movie.
It's the one moment I always remember from this movie. It's just the
Yeah, leading up to the end where they all cheer for him.
Which is awesome. Yeah, it's hysterical. And she like kind of did it to kind of like get back at Snipes. And then we have another one-liner, and I broke this down. So they all order food, and they are ordering champagne and steaks and everything. And Elizabeth Hurley comes up to the main bad guy, and she's got the food on her like cart, and she asks the main villain.
God, so stupid.
She goes, "How do you like your sirloin, sir?" And he goes, "Bloody." And then she takes out a gun and shoots all the cops.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and they had to practice this line like, "Hey, when you bring the gun to me, ask me this."
The keyword is bloody.
Yeah, the keyword is bloody, and I'll shoot him. And I thought, what if he didn't get the steak?
Sorry.
I was like,
medium.
yeah. Sorry, we don't have that.
the chicken cordon bleu.
That's right. Sir, how do you like your chicken? He's like, free range.
No, open range.
Rocket launcher. Yeah, and there's that one-liner. And then the main villain goes to the front of the plane.
Like expertly choreographed.
Dude, because, yeah, and then he goes to the front of the plane, and he asks the pilots, he's like, who's in charge? And the guy's like, I am. And he gets shot. And then he's like, I'll ask again, who's in charge? Like,
I am?
You are, sir. I'm like, man, there are so many one-liners.
It's like
in
you
this
just
movie.
killed the pilot to the airplane so you could pull off a one-liner.
Yeah,
Like,
That's exactly
how
what that
have you
was.
been so successful so many times on these airplanes?
And then
Like,
the next pilot's like, I am because I'm the next in line, I guess.
I'm the only one left.
we have
and then
nobody
I
to
am.
fly the airplane.
It gets to the old lady. It's just the old lady left. He's like, who's in charge? So they take over the plane. We find out that, a handful of these people that are on the plane are with the main villain and that they're taking over everything. Do they have a motive for all this? Or are they just trying to get him out?
Well, he's a serial bomber, and there's no bomb on the plane, so they forgot that. That's like the main.
We
that's
were
like
too busy with the one-liners.
that's like the main plot thread of this bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't really have any demands for the most part, if I remember correctly.
No, they're gonna kill
Other
hostages.
than when they land at that carnival for the next hour, they ask for refuel at the plane, and so they
just
can
to
take off.
So I think it's just to get him.
Maybe it's just a joyride. Maybe they're just like trying to fly somewhere. Like,
Why did you do this? Because it was Saturday.
Is
To
that
you, it was the worst day of your life.
Is that like your Street Fighter, Raul
Yeah.
Julia?
For me, it was a Saturday. So they take over the plane, and while they're taking over, Wesley Snipes is in the bathroom, and he ends up sneaking out, and he grabs the phone, and he calls Tom Sizemore.
Yeah, see this credit card swipe? He has to swipe his credit card first.
Yeah. And when he does this, he puts the phone down, and he acts like he's really scared when,
I actually like
one of the
this.
bad guys comes over.
Yeah.
I thought Wesley Snipes, for the rest of the movie, or for a majority of it, was going to pull an Alan Rickman from Die Hard and act like don't hurt me, like
Yeah.
I'm just a scared passenger, which would have been a cool thing because
Coulda.
within 5 minutes off the ground, there's already a confrontation between the main villain and Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes.
Yeah.
And so his name's John Cutter, by the way, which I thought it said Carter.
Oh,
And I was like, John Carter.
From Mars?
From Mars.
This movie's actually pretty short too. It's under, I think,
It's an
under
hour
90,
and 20
right?
minutes.
20, yeah.
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 So Wesley Snipes actually is scared, and then he ends up,
Basically, giving this guy a swirly
yeah, pretty
with
much.
his Kenny G hair.
And then he comes out with him as hostage, and the main villain picks up this guy. His name's Douglas, and he puts him in a headlock.
Oh, this makes
And
me
he
so
goes-
sad.
It's really dark because he asks the guy, he's like, Douglas, he's like, do you have any kids? He's like, yeah, I have a daughter. And then he like shoots him in the head.
Dude, you know what you do in this situation? You just fall asleep.
Yeah, just go limp.
Yeah, you just go limp, dude. Because, like, he's not going to use you as an example if he can't talk to you.
That's
and
true.
he's not going to
Because then
shoot you in the head if you're asleep.
Well, I said you fall down, you'll limp, you fall. And he's like, "What just happened?" And then Wesley Snipes shoots him in the head.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, or he'll grab another person and be like, all right, I'll grab this guy. And then
Yeah.
you just have to act like you're
And then
asleep in the aisle
and then
for the
that
rest of the movie.
and then that person collapses because he like passes out. He's so scared. And then everyone, just all these people in the aisle, just on the
Is
ground.
there something going on with the air up here? Is everyone really tired?
Excuse my friends, they're dead tired.
He just stole that
Hold
line
on.
from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hold on, Mrs. Snipes. I'll grab another one.
Please be patient.
Be patient. Everyone's really tired.
The jet lagged. After this, after they kind of get out of this confrontation, there's bullets flying everywhere. We get a knife fight, which is,
I like it.
I think it's okay. I think it could have been more, but
I thought it was pretty awesome.
I think this goes, like, you can only do so many fights on a plane.
I say, yeah, it's just the confined spaces that really limits
It is.
what you can do in the fight scenes.
So at this point, we got Snipes and Marty, and they're at the bottom going through cargo. And then Snipes has this awesome idea of, hey, let's empty the fuel. I think this is a great idea because now they can't fly around. They have to go down, obviously. And he snaps at her, and he's like, damn it, Lisa. And I thought it's pretty good. And it's a really cool slip that he calls her his ex-wife.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like this big pause. Like, I'm sorry I did that. It just keeps moving. It's a really well made scene. And then so he explains to her, this is who Lisa was, et cetera, et cetera. And their whole plan is to land at some small, like...
It's like the closest airport, right?
Yeah, but it's not even like really an airport. It's like one of those, like... is it cargo planes? Like the smaller ones?
Oh,
like a passenger plane? Is that what you call
This
them?
is where you go skydiving at.
That's exactly what I
yeah.
was thinking,
Yeah.
for drop zone. So they...
that happens to have a carnival next to the airport.
Say what?
Because there's a carnival that's like...
Oh, I'll get to the carnival, man. I got a weird one about that. So I don't understand my note here. It says, villain call Cutter downstairs.
Yeah,
Villain
because
call...
they're talking...
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah.
You're describing the scene that we're doing right now.
This is a Matt note. I'm sorry. So the villain calls downstairs to Snipes, and this is probably the best one line of the whole movie.
Yeah, this is awesome. I like this a lot.
And he's like, "Hey, you ever play blackjack, roulette, craps,
Freestyle.
No, what is no
Blackjack.
Is it blackjack?
Do you ever play?
No, it's not blackjack.
Yeah,
no,
it's
not.
blackjack.
It's not blackjack.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
you
it
don't
is.
bet on.
No, it's Go Fish.
What's the one that you bet on
Oh,
colors?
sorry, roulette.
Yes, thank you.
Do you ever play Minesweeper?
Do you ever play ski free?
Yeti.
Always bet on Yeti.
Dude, he got you every single time.
Oh yeah, game's impossible.
Oh my god. So yeah, the camera zooms on his face, and he's
I
like,
actually like this a lot.
"Oh yeah, always bet on black." And it is an awesome one-liner. This is probably one of the most. I would put this in my top 10 like one-liners.
It's cool.
Your top 10?
Yeah,
Wow, dude.
It's in my top 3.
Get out of here.
dude, I quote that daily.
out of
There's actually a text thread from 2 days ago, and we have that like between me and my family.
Yeah.
It's used in that
Really?
text thread.
Nice.
Yeah.
top 10 movie lines of all
I
time.
didn't say movie lines. I
It's
said
from Passenger
no.
57.
See, you
It's
take
my
it out of
top
context.
my top 10 favorite roulette lines.
yeah,
no,
from what
like
was
a
the con-
one-liner, kind of like if I had to put in a category, like a one-liner of like cheesy but cool at the same time. I'm not saying
That's
like
a one-liner.
That's a weird list.
Well, I didn't make it.
Cheesy but corny lines from Passenger 57 is in my top 10.
You know, Charlie, I'm a little surprised at you. Didn't your father ever teach you never send a boy to do a man's job?
Speaking of boys, our stewardess friend must be feeling particularly unsatisfied.
Charlie, you ever play roulette?
On occasion.
Well, let me give you a word of advice.
Always bet on black.
So they end up getting ready to land, and Snipes and Marty are going to jump out. And
This is a dumb idea.
yeah, Snipes gets kicked out, and Marty gets kind of stuck back in with one of the main villains who grabs her. And as soon as Snipe lands on the ground, he gets arrested. And so after 22 minutes in the air, we're off the plane. And basically, the main villain talks to the chief that's at this airport and says, hey, you need to fill up this tank, and if you fill it up, I'll let everybody go.
Yeah.
At this point, Snipes is in custody, and they end up starting to let go of some of the passengers. And
Yeah.
what's with the face? You got a face.
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't an opinion. It's just what happens in the movie. So the villain calls the chief, and he says that Snipes is one of his good guys. That goes from the passengers.
Oh,
and
that's
we get
right, yeah.
we get the scene where this guy, like, people are just walking off the plane,
Dude,
and some dude pushes people out of the way. He's like, out of the way! And he gets shot. Like, do you remember this, Matt?
Kind of.
It's okay, buddy.
There's like
Passenger
only-
57.
I know. I feel like I just like.
There was a scene. I'll break it down.
Yeah.
They're letting everybody go off the plane.
No, they're letting half of the passengers
yeah.
go off the plane because
And
that was
as
the deal.
These people are walking. One of the
I think I remember. Some guy just like gets super eager.
Dude, and he's
it's
super-
the guy that fell asleep on the airplane.
It's passenger 32.
Passenger 32.
his eyes are wide-eyed, and he's like pushing people out of the way. It's comical because it's pretty goofy.
Because you think they finally got there to Disney World. He woke up.
Yeah.
And he has no
yeah,
idea
he's
it's
like their entire
terrorists.
confrontation.
And he woke up. He's like, Disney World.
Get me to the rides!
we're there.
Like,
They shot the rocket again.
rockets.
So the villains all end up getting away while they're letting people off, in which I think the cops would be surrounding this thing. If you have a plane taken hostage, I
Yeah.
feel like
They'd
you
be-
couldn't be able just to walk away.
Yeah.
Everybody would be questioned. Everybody, yeah.
It'd be like
Go to the carnival. There's games and play. Relax.
just go free, you know.
Enjoy your stay.
Interviews in 3 hours.
Here's a voucher for the carnival. So the villains get away, and Snipes ends up getting away when he just kind of kicks everybody.
Yeah, he just does his like little, you know.
It's pretty cool. So he gets out of custody by kicking everybody, and then he hops on a motorcycle to the carnival, which is right next door where all the main villains are. And we get these chase scenes. There's like a big chase at like a petting zoo, and someone gets shot.
A clown gets
And
shot.
That's what I thought.
And
yeah.
then there's a guy. he definitely gets like, oh! And then there's a guy in the background. I don't know if you noticed this guy behind whoever shoots the clown.
Yeah.
He like realizes there's a guy with the gun. He's like, oh!
It was the same guy who got shot on the plane. He survived. Yeah, we have the chase at the petting zoo, and then we have this roller coaster climb that ends very
It's
quickly.
like the Ferris wheel, isn't it?
Yeah, and
No, the roller coaster ride.
this little boy bad guy.
He's like a little child.
Yeah, this dude wearing glasses, like hair
And
combed
like
over
a
black.
little bowl cut.
Yeah, and he looks like he's definitely 15.
Yeah,
that's.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Guy keep looking at me.
We have to keep
And
checking on you.
Do you
Make
know what we're
sure-
talking?
Are you still with us?
Is this the one he kills on the Ferris wheel?
I just said that.
It's the guy that. It's the little boy terrorist.
Little boy bad guy.
Little boy bad guy that climbs.
The ponytail. It's the first guy he
He's in a
meets,
ponytail.
right?
He's got like a little butt cut, like a '90s butt cut.
He kind of looks like.
He has like little spectacles, like
Isn't
glasses.
this the first guy he fights on the plane?
No,
with a
this
knife?
guy just shows
No.
up. He's not even on the plane.
This guy's wearing like a button-up T-shirt
Dude, this
collared.
is rough, man.
This guy looks like he's like 15 years old. Do you
he
not
just
know?
came from class
This
and
is
everything.
so hard.
It was an internship to work with the bad guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't
I
remember
believe
this?
you.
He looks like a very
It's
young
bring my son to work day.
Is he, wait, is he that? Never mind. I was gonna
job
say,
shadowing.
Job shadowing.
He looks like a young Michael Keaton, kind of, but with straight hair. And he's
What?
wearing glasses.
Okay, just move on.
He looks
What-
no. He
you
looks
guys are killing
he
this.
looks more like the from Dream Warriors. A wizard. I'm a wizard.
Yes, he does.
He looks like
with
that guy.
glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
That guy also wears glasses.
What? All right, hold on. All right. Both of you, calm down. What is the point of explaining to me about this guy
We're
for
just
so long?
We're just
That was so much information. Just to say, like, yes, the guy gets killed on the Ferris wheel.
we're just checking in on you to
We
make
just
sure
wanna
you're
make
still
sure-
with us.
I don't care anymore.
It was.
I don't care.
I didn't kill my family. I don't care.
I didn't watch this movie. I don't care.
Here's a shower thought. Last night I was like looking at Harrison Ford's.
Hunter, you look up this picture of
Yes,
this little
I will,
boy
I will.
while Matt describes this. Go ahead.
I was looking up Harrison Ford's IMDb,
Okay.
and I was like, man, you know what? He doesn't have like any major Western movie credits to his name.
Harrison Ford.
He
I
did
think-
Cisco Kid with Gene Wilder.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he did
Cowboys and Aliens.
and he did Cowboys and Aliens, but he doesn't really have like a cowboy movie in there. And I was
Cowboys
like,
and Aliens.
you know what I mean?
No, you
Like
can't.
actual westerns.
Yeah, an actual Western. Like I feel like I was like, man, I feel like he's the kind of guy that would have a lot of Westerns under his belt. He
I
did
can
it-
see that.
He did some Western TV shows.
Dude, don't you feel like this? While Hunter's looking this up, don't you feel like it's just a you and me podcast?
Yeah.
Let's do.
He did the Virginian, and I think he did a couple episodes of Gunsmoke.
What was the second one?
Gunsmoke.
Oh, I didn't know you did. Gunsmoke.
Yeah, I know. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch him because I want to see him in like a cowboy outfit. But I was like, man, Harrison Ford needed to do more cowboy stuff. But then again, Indiana Jones is kind of like a
It got- yeah.
1930s cowboy.
Look at that. Well, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in to Harrison Ford Needs to Do More Westerns. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto, and I found this guy.
You weren't in on this episode. Did you find a picture of
Oh,
him?
I see. Yeah.
Can I see? Does he look like a young Michael Keaton?
Yeah, actually, could.
Oh, you're just playing the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Weird Al in the background. No, yeah, he does. He looks like Bruce McCullen from Kids in the Hall.
Yeah, he does.
I'm the Eradicator.
Die. Did I die?
Cool. Now we can continue with the movie now.
So anyway, this guy falls off the roller coaster Ferris wheel, and he dies. And then we get this like
This is
main
a stupid situation.
Yeah, why would
Right.
you climb up? Just wait for
Just wait for him to come down.
Wesley Snipes to rotate back down.
I know. Why would he be like... I
He's
feel
not going anywhere. It's
a good idea.
There's nothing you can jump to. Just wait for him to do a full rotation on the Ferris wheel. He's coming back down.
and then just
eventually.
shoot him like...
Yeah.
Like,
Cool. End of the movie.
I feel like my boss saw me chasing him on a Ferris wheel. He'd probably be like, "What are you doing, you
Get
idiot?
to class. No, I work for you.
It goes all the way around. It comes back. He's not going anywhere.
You're not getting away this time.
But he's getting higher into the sky. Yeah,
getting
but he's gonna
higher.
come back.
Just going away from
No
the
way you live.
Nice.
What was that from? I know that's from something.
It's Danny Glover.
Oh yeah, duh.
Murtaugh.
So the main villain and Snipes have this whole fight, and then surprisingly, the main villain gets captured right here by all the.
He gets
the
captured
cops.
like 5 times in this movie.
This is true. But we still have one bad guy who's loose, and we'll get back to that in a second. So basically, they go up to Wesley Snipes goes and talks to the main villain, and this is a whole like weird conversation where they're like, "Look, we'll put you back on the plane so you can let people go, et cetera, et cetera." And while this is going on, we find out that the one bad guy's name is Vincent. He ends up showing up as a paramedic, and then he ends up showing up as a sniper. So
Yeah, this is the guy with the ponytail, right?
No, this guy
is not the
has,
guy. With
This
the
guy's
ponytail.
like balding.
He's
The
balding,
guy from
right?
Twin Peaks was the guy with the ponytail, I think.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah. I'm thinking. I'm getting mixed.
Forget.
He's the one he fights in the very beginning with the knife. He's the first guy.
Yes,
he
you're
fights.
right. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of a different movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, he shows up as a medic, and then all of a sudden he's a sniper.
He's
out of nowhere.
what is he? An airline technician in the beginning,
He is. Yeah.
and then the paramedic.
He's
and
like-
then the sniper.
He's like the.
and then a dead person.
He's like the Who's Harry Crumb of.
Was it Mr. Bombay?
Yeah. God, I haven't seen that in a
I
while.
love that movie.
So yeah, so they're like, all right, we're gonna let you go back on the plane. And as the main villain's being escorted onto the plane, Wesley Snipes is like, all right, take him out now. And he's talking to the sniper, and we find out the sniper is the
Were they
bad
about
guy.
to just like straight murder?
Yeah, I think so.
Murder this terrorist?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, everybody starts getting shot, and there's chaos. And our main villain runs out into the plane, and he pretty much gets away. And
This guy's plan has like failed miserably.
Does
the
this
main
guy?
villain,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's just him and Elizabeth Hurley. No, and Forget,
yeah,
which is the Twin Peaks guy.
yeah. So,
So it's just the 3 of them.
so there's
but-
still a
You
couple of
think?
them.
Here's my thing.
Yeah. You think?
You think that if you, because the whole point of the villain's like
master plan.
is like to escape, right?
Yeah.
Well, eventually, I think it's to blow up this plane, but he doesn't have a parachute.
Wait,
or-
he wants to blow up the plane?
he's a serial bomber.
No, I think
he
he's
wants
trying
to-
to get away.
I think
Okay.
he's trying to get away.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But like, why would you not do this when you're closer to your destination or something like that? Why would you do it like
Silence
20 minutes into the
Do
to
what?
the flight? Like take over the flight 20 minutes into the flight.
Good call.
Like,
Yeah.
why not wait until you're like, okay, we're gonna
Wait until like some of the people are sleeping. You know, they're like they're at their most vulnerable.
Yeah. This guy's doing it in the lobby before they even get on the plane. I'm taking over this plane.
Yeah.
What plane? We're not on anything.
This
And
airport.
also, why couldn't he get like at this point? Why couldn't he get FBI agents that were like his buddies, like people to fake being FBI agents?
That's true. Yeah,
If he could get this guy to be a sniper for 5 minutes,
yeah.
You'd have like 19-year-old Elizabeth Hurley, and she's like, I'm FBI inspector.
You're arrested.
You're going to jail. And as he gets on this plane, it's this very comical moment where the stair truck
Yeah.
tips over and it's like, dude, I rewound it like 3 times because I didn't pay attention.
Because
I
the
looked up.
stairs is made out of gasoline.
Yeah, it said Bluth on the side of the stairs.
Nice.
So they end up giving away, and Snipes is in the car with the chief and Tom Sizemore, and they're like driving.
He like
to this
becomes
plane.
best friends with this
chief?
this borderline racist chief. That
yeah, I don't know what they're trying to make this chief out to be.
they're like trying to give him like a redeeming moment. Like, oh, this guy's the biggest asshole trying to arrest foil Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
But now they're like best friends, like about to depart.
They do have this like it's this like relationship where they're trying to do like a
It's just like your typical like
it's like a McLean and
like Samuel Jackson. Like
no First Die Hard.
Oh.
What's his name from NYPD Blue?
that second one?
Dennis Franz.
Yeah, Dennis Franz
Yeah.
from Die Hard 2.
No, I was thinking, what's his name from Family Matters?
Yeah, Reginald Val Johnson.
They're trying to create like this whole like back and back, like we're buddies type thing.
Yeah.
I guess you could say the Die Hard 2 as well.
It'd be more like Die Hard 2 because they're clashing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. And so Snipes hops on the wheel of this plane, drops the gun as Chief gets him. This is a cool stunt.
It's actually pretty good.
This is like legit scene. I really like this.
I love how the chief is like, "Don't lose this gun. Like it was a gift from my wife."
Yeah, and then he
And he just loses it.
that's it.
That dick.
And so Snipes gets to the plane and he comes out of the cockpit, and the pilot's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Cutter, John Cutter." And like, but it flows. Like
Yeah.
it's like I found it comical.
Yeah.
Because he was probably like just being goofy.
Yeah.
But all these other one-liners, not so much. So he's basically like going through the rest of the plane to find the bad guys. And
Yeah.
the pilot's like, "You need help?" He's like, "No, there's only one left, and he's mine." I was like, "Cool." I'm just telling you my thoughts through every scene, and I was like, and it was cool, and I liked
I'm just
it.
like, "Oh, that's cool. Tell me more."
I'm listening.
No, I think at this point he also kills 4J, the guy from Twin Peaks.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah, because then he
Oh,
says
yeah,
there's
'cause
one
now
left.
there's just one
and he
left,
also
yeah.
knocked out.
Does he kill him?
He like basically it's insinuated that he like almost decapitates this guy.
In what way?
He
Oh,
uses
with it was like
he uses
some
like
cart?
a metal sheet, like a sheet metal door, and like slides
Oh.
it at full speed.
Oh, is that what that was?
It was like a metal door.
Oh, was
So
it?
I was gonna bring this up, but,
He kicks the shit out of this guy, and it's
Yeah.
awesome. This is the part I like a lot.
but like this movie's like the body count's very low in this movie.
16, I think.
And
Really?
Wesley Snipes only kills like I don't know if he kills that. I don't know if he kills him. Or
I think
not.
he kills him. Yeah, I think Elizabeth Hurley's the only one that's left alive.
He
Oh,
kills
yeah,
the
he-
sniper, right?
No, he
Oh
does.
yeah, that guy gets lit up and
Yeah,
hail of gunfire.
by him though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
because he
shoots
kills
him.
one of the guys and he puts him in the elevator. That
Which
goes
is that
up.
guy.
Yeah, and then
Which is
this is
Ford
And then
when
Bruce
you have
McCollum falls off the
Colin.
Ferris wheel by himself, right?
Yeah.
Eradicator. No, I forgot you were talking about inappropriateness earlier. In
Oh,
this
this is the
scene.
part.
Yeah, this is when Marty's talking to the main villain, and she's like, "Do you want something?" I can't remember how the scene plays out.
He's basically talking about like
Her for JJ, man.
for JJ and doing some inappropriate things.
Yeah, and she goes, he talks about having sex with her, and she's like, "Oh, I hope I die before that happens, or I hope you kill me before that happens, or something like that."
Maybe during.
And he goes, "No, I'll kill you during." And I was like, "That's really
awful.
That's
Maybe that one didn't land very well.
Get it because we're on an airplane.
it worked on the last plane."
Ooh, that one landed very well.
That one,
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll use that next time. Dude, I did it right. They should have had some connection to him. I know you'd have to like turn around the plot, but they should have had some connection to him of why Lisa got killed. I feel like in a 90s
Yeah,
fashion,
they do.
It'd been like,
It's the guy he's always been hunting down.
yeah, it was
He
you.
finally- yeah.
You robbed that convenience store.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, we have the showdown between the main villain and Snipes.
At this point, he's also before the whole thing.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hurley comes into the cockpit and then Wesley Snipes knocks her out.
Yeah,
And he
and
says, "What a waste."
is that what he says?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird line, right?
I think it's insinuating that he's attracted to her.
Yeah.
It's like she's attracted, but what a waste because she's going to jail now.
Yeah, I guess. It's like,
Get it?
all right.
So they have this big fight, and as they're fighting, they're losing altitude. And basically, Snipes kicks him out of...
This is awesome.
He kicks him out of
He
one of
kicks
the,
him
the
the
tiny
ball.
little windows.
Yeah. He's like
Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, Alien Resurrection.
Oh, man, there's another
or
one.
or Goldfinger in James Bond.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Goldfinger's
Or
like, whoa!
Jason
Dude, the
X.
most unbelievable part in that whole
Oh,
movie
yeah.
is that giant man fits through that tiny window.
He's also flying horizontally. He's like, oh!
If the air and the pressure in that cabinet was so strong it could suck him out of that window,
Yeah.
you think like
It was like a window this big.
James
and like
Bond's
a,
clothes
a
would be gone.
400-pound man's like, oh!
yeah, it is ridiculous.
Very similar to Jason X as well, when that one girl... It's actually very similar to Alien
Oh,
Resurrection.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you were right. I cut you off, but Snipes kicks the main villain in the balls like 4 times.
Oh yeah, they insinuate that maybe something happened because they keep mentioning his childhood,
Yeah.
and he kicks him in the balls the first time in the during the beginning of the fight, and like Wesley Snipes like looks up at Bruce Payne, he's just like
Yeah.
like that didn't work, and then when he's like about
And then he
to,
pukes. He's like,
oh, it didn't work.
the pain just got to my stomach. It took a minute.
But then, yeah, he does kick him like 4 times. That eventually like knocks him out of the plane for good.
Did you know this was offered to Sylvester Stallone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they actually named the character Sly as a joke about how it was offered to Stallone.
Which character is Sly?
Somebody's name is Sly in this movie.
Really?
I can't remember, but I heard it.
It sounds like an.
You sure he
IMDb
doesn't
fact.
call somebody Sly? Like, hey, what's up, Sly?
Yeah.
Very Sly.
Very Sly. Always bet on black. You're like,
You can't just say that anyway.
you can't just use it anywhere,
That's
man.
really stupid. So Snipes calls it in. Everything's okay. As they're walking down the plane when they land, everybody in the plane starts cheering, thinking he's Arsenio Hall. Which, if you don't know who that is, he was a talk show host back in the early 90s.
He's also the buddy in Coming
to America. He was in a
Yep.
few movies. Coming soon to Coming to America too.
Whoa. Okay, that made no sense, but we can
Coming
continue.
soon to Coming to America too. Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed that they're not going to get John Landis to do that. I'm assuming they're not going to.
I would
John
assume they're
Landis
not
is
either.
not going to do it.
They're gonna get Max Landis to do it.
Oh, man. It's just a bummer because I feel like John Landis did such a good job on it, but knowing his history...
Yeah, he's gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, because he that's the thing. Like, I feel like he at this point in his career, he's gotten over that history. But, like, if he ever did a successful movie, that'd be the first article to be like, did you know this happened to him?
Yeah,
And it'd be like...
resurfacing.
And it'd be on Twitter, like, everybody... Like, it was, like,
Because
news.
he's done movies, but they've been like lesser known, limited release, and like straight to DVD stuff.
Yeah.
Didn't he do one with Simon Pegg recently?
That's
Yeah,
the
Burke
one.
and Hare.
But
Is
that
that
was
what
like maybe 12 years ago, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't too long ago.
It was a while back.
It was a while back, but it wasn't like 12 years.
That's actually the movie I was referring to. It was like a very limited release, and then it was like a straight to DVD.
Kind
Pretty
of.
much.
Did you ever watch it?
No, it's what's his name? Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Simon Pegg.
I
heard it's just like a dark comedy.
It's a dark comedy. It's like one of those. Simon Pegg makes like those dark comedies that are just kind of like, man,
He had
not
a
many people are gonna
series
like
of
this.
movies that like weren't released in theaters.
Yeah.
They're
Pegg?
like very dark. Yeah,
Yeah,
Simon
he
Pegg.
did.
There's like the one where he's like a
There's one with David Schwimmer directed. Well, he did two.
Is
with
it the
David
one where
Schwimmer.
he's like a gore, like a trap? He's like a
No,
really
I remember
schizophrenic-
that.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
that
yeah.
one.
he
There's
did
one
one.
where he's a hitman.
Yeah, there's that one. I heard that one.
There's one that he was in it with David Schwimmer. I can't remember what it was. I think it was early in his career.
Oh yeah, that one's super dark.
It really is. It's super
yeah,
dark.
that one's super dark.
Dude, I will always recommend Run Fat Boy Run. I
yeah,
think
Run
I've
Fat
never
Boy
seen
Run's
that.
awesome.
Simon Pegg's. Yeah, David Schwimmer directed it. It's a stellar movie.
Nice.
It's past 57. So they land. Cue Dave Matthews instrumental, and
I like the music in this movie.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
like
it's pretty decent. It's basically them walking off. They're saying goodbye to everybody. Bye, Tom Sizemore. Bye, Chief.
And then basically he's just saying like, "She's my girlfriend now."
Pretty much, yeah. And then they leave, and they walk towards the carnival, which is still going on. I think if there was some kind of airport or if there was some kind of hostage
There's
situation,
lots of gunfire.
the
happening.
carnival right next door would not still be open.
Yeah.
There's
that thing would.
There's a
have been
dead
shut down.
15-year-old boy on a Ferris wheel. there's a dead clown. There's a guy dressed as a
Oh my
paramedic
God.
sniper that got killed.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah, everyone
everybody.
go home.
Here's a voucher. Come back. They walk off towards the carnival. We get a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Passenger 57. So, okay, I looked it up. This movie on CinemaScore has a B.
Oh, changing your Rotten Tomatoes
Whoa.
to Cinema Score.
I mean, going back and forth with them.
Yeah.
Because CinemaScore and Rotten Tomatoes are very different.
Yeah, that's
Um,
very different.
If I know we don't usually have, we don't have any
That's
kind
like
of.
that's weird. That's you taking a test and one teacher's like, "Dude, you got a 23%.
Like,
That's
oh,
a
man.
major failure." Like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, I'm gonna take it to a different teacher," and they're like, "B,
Yeah. Like,
good job."
A for effort.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I know we don't have a grading scale on this. We've always changed it up. If you had to do this on a A through F grading scale, including minuses and pluses and all that, what would you give this movie?
C minus.
Hunter?
B minus.
I'd give it a C, a solid C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's like
I don't think it's awful.
I don't
but
think
yeah.
it's awful. There's nothing that screams like, "Oh, this movie's bad."
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring.
It's misleading.
I don't think so. It's a very quick hour and 20 minutes.
It's a quick hour and 20, which I appreciate.
because it's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like everything's quick when it's under an hour and 20 minutes. Like that's an episode of a TV show at this
Yeah.
point.
I appreciate that it's short. I like Wesley Snipes as an actor and a martial artist. I thought he did well in this movie, like kicking some butt.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd probably watch this again, to be honest.
I maybe 10 years from now when we do this
Okay.
again for the podcast.
When we do it like a reunion
yeah.
episode.
Dude, I have actually thought about us rewatching Last Action Hero and
Oh, yeah?
talking about it again.
Yeah.
I'm sure nothing would change.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
think
gonna lie.
my thing with this movie was just it's very one note. And there's not much character development going on.
Nah.
They try, but they abandon it really quickly.
They need to have more like people that he can go one-on-one with, like you know how like at the end of Batman and like the bell tower, he's got like the guy with like the sticks, you know, or like the martial artist. He goes,
Yeah.
They need to have like more of those guys, not like people with guns and like weaklings or whatever.
I agree with
I
you.
think the villain is not. He does a good job, but it's so at this point it's so cliche.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like he doesn't even have like a motivation. They're like, what's your motivation?
yeah.
He's like, I blow up airplanes. And you're like,
But then
for what reason?
But then in
And he's
this
like,
movie,
I don't really have one.
I
but then-
change faces.
I say,
Change
yeah,
faces.
he changes faces. He's a serial bomber, but then his like whole thing on this plane is not. There's like no bomb that they defuse or anything.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no like last minute like, oh, you got to get this.
There needs to be that, like, for sure. If you're gonna establish this guy as like a serial bomber,
Yeah.
you got to have something that they have to
I agree.
defuse once he's off the plane.
He's
Yeah.
like not evil enough.
Oh my god, he's horrible.
I thought he was pretty
He
good.
is, but it's just like he's just not. I don't know. He's just not evil enough, and I feel like I need a motivation for him.
Yeah,
I need some kind of
Motivation's
story
not,
on him.
Not quite there.
They should have ended it at a terminal. Like a
Yeah.
large airport.
That'd
It
be
could have been
awesome.
everybody running around. Like it could have been this huge thing.
And you have your
kind of Die Hard 2.
I would say your Die Hard 2. That scene is pretty badass.
Yeah, there's
like a lot of stake.
There's
in
some
that.
really good running around in
Yeah.
that. But
I also feel my biggest problem with this movie is, and this is just kind of the product of that time, is that I feel like Wesley Snipes is never in danger.
Yeah,
And I
I mean
think that's
it's your typical action hero.
That's what hurts this movie.
He
Like,
doesn't,
well,
even, get, he
and
doesn't even get shot either.
But I feel like Bruce Willis has that where it's like, even though you know he's gonna be fine,
Well, yeah, he gets
has
hurt.
that like
he gets hurt a bunch in the Die Hard.
he has that human element. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I think you're right. Snipes does not have a lot of like.
He doesn't get
he's
shot
not
in the
getting hurt.
arm.
Every time he fights, he's always winning.
Yeah, he's
That's why
kicking
I feel like
ass in this
I don't
movie.
like that line that always bet on black line because
Yeah.
I feel like at that point it's like he's like too cocky.
Yeah,
Like he know and I feel like at that point too, we as the audience know it's like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be okay.
You know, been really good though if he would have said like the always bet on black, and then like a second as he was saying it, as he finished that sentence up, he got like kicked in the stomach and he like threw up on the floor, and then like oh okay
this
cool.
is-
I kind of
went
wish
a
there's like
different
a whole thing between Wesley Snipes and Bruce Payne, where they're like, I'm the one-liner guy around here, like not you. And so when he says like the always been on black, it's like he just gets like really upset, like wait a second, like
I do the one lines.
that's pretty good, but like you can't beat the
While they're
person.
on the phone, he's like always bet him back, always bet. Man, I ruined
that
it.
sucked when that
I
happened.
ruined it.
That happened to me when we did the Valentine episode. I told you to edit it out. Did you get it?
I can't remember.
It was like I butcher like.
I think I
joke,
kept
and
it
was
in because we were like
"Oh."
left, because we were having a good time.
It's so frustrating when that happens. No, I just feel like he's never in danger, and
Yeah,
I
I agree with that. Yeah.
I feel like because of that, I never feel for him. That and
I'm
I
trying
just
to think of like
this happens in those action movies, like just in general, where it's like at that, and that's what I mean by like the product of that time, where it's like these action movies got boring because of these tropes.
They make
where
him
it was
like superhuman, invincible.
yeah,
Yeah, like
and
there's no like I'm trying to think of like other movies that like
there's
where
no perishable characters.
Yeah.
There's nobody in danger
You
in
gotta
this
have,
whole
like-
movie. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't really care about a bunch of
You
extras
gotta
on
have
the
like
airplane.
you gotta have like Tom Sizemore's character get like shot and killed during that carnival scene or something. where
Yeah,
it's like,
or the-
oh man,
Oh,
like,
that would have been yeah.
yeah,
or the
something.
girl like
Oh, yeah.
be in some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's
I mean,
nobody.
she's in trouble, but it's all because of the plane.
Like a
It's
hostage situation on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Like he's got her, and then like they keep coming
They're
down.
coming back down. Just wait for him.
Now does she? I can't remember this, but in the beginning of the movie they do that simulation,
Yeah.
and she gets out of it with Wesley
She
Snipes.
does something again? I think.
Does she do the same thing with the main villain?
I would. You know what? I
Is it like a
thought
callback?
when that happened, I was like, oh, this will probably happen at the end. I don't remember if it
I don't
does.
think it did or not.
I think it does because he's holding her hostage, and then that's what like erupts into the fight and everything.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like sometimes this podcast turns into, hey, we rewatch movies that we loved as kids.
Yeah.
Do they hold up?
Yeah.
And I think it's okay.
Which
it's
should
not
just
as
be
great.
what should be our name of our podcast? Like, it doesn't hold up.
That would have been a good name. Yeah, I think it's okay. I remember it being a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
But it's decent.
Fine.
It's not Wesley Snipes' best, but it's decent.
No.
So I do want to talk, before I announce my pick,
Oh god.
I do want to talk about some movies we've watched recently because we haven't talked in a while.
Okay.
A few things I've watched. I recently, it's been rough. I watched The Rings,
the
which
rings.
the
Oh,
newest one. I
did
wanted
ya?
to see why
We started to watch that.
we were like 5 minutes and we turned it off.
Yeah, we turned it off in 5 minutes because we thought we like started the movie late or something.
Because it's the
or-
airplane. It starts on the airplane, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then it's like, oh, multiple TVs with rings.
And it would have been awesome. The execution's pretty poor.
They'll die.
I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you anything about this movie except it's cool because what's his name from Big Bang Theory? The guy from Christmas Vacation or whatever.
Oh,
Johnny Galecki?
Galecki, yeah.
He is like a professor that runs like this hideout that he does like these experiments on students that they watch the video and like it starts off interesting. And I'm like, oh, where's this going? And by the end of it, and I don't even know if I'm describing
is
this
he the bad
correctly.
guy?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm describing this correctly, but by the end of it, it's so cliche.
Yeah.
It was not worth
Jump
the
scare.
watch.
Rah!
Yeah. I watched Night of the Comet. It took me like a week to watch.
That was
because that's a slow
that's a
one.
rough movie.
First 20 minutes is awesome.
God, it could be so cool.
It's
an awesome
We've talked
premise.
about this before in the
Yeah.
podcast. It could be a really cool movie.
Because I
but
also
it's just-
rewatched it recently. It was like not what I remembered, and it being really like
It's
a slow
like
burn.
it starts off as like a quote unquote like zombie invasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it drops that whole thing, and it's like we're scientists and we're gonna take hostage. Like, well, what happened to all the people that
The
were
bloodthirsty, mindless
doesn't-
like people or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so
They
weird. 'cause
go the. Oh, go ahead.
it just needs to be Valley Girls versus zombies, and that's
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah,
what the
just
whole
have
movie
a-
needs to be. And then
Yeah.
It's basically like you just take your Dawn of the Dead plot, and then just have these girls as the main characters, and they're just kicking ass.
there's like one scene in the whole movie that's like fun
which
Was
is-
it when they're
I
shooting in
like-
the street?
when they're in the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
I
say,
like
and
it.
they come up with this really cool villain that comes out of nowhere, and
Is it the girl?
It's
the guy on
guys-
the mic.
the guys who take over
Yeah.
like, the mall,
yeah.
and then they kill him off, and it just feels like they
It
wanted to
sucks.
go-
It's such a missed opportunity.
because it's a
It is.
zombie with sunglasses, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And what sucks is that it's got like an 84%. So
I think
like,
it's cult classic.
and when I read it, like even like I think Ebert liked it when it came out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people like it. I don't get it.
I think there's just over time there's been better.
Yeah.
So
I watched Cooties.
okay, yeah. What do you think?
It was fun.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Dwight from The Office. Why can't I think?
Rainn Wilson.
Dude, he steals it, man.
Oh,
Him
I thought
and
Lee
Lee
Whannell
Lee
did.
Whannell's awesome
Yeah.
too. Lee Whannell has some great one.
Yeah,
Now he's a
great.
big horror movie guy, isn't he?
Rainn Wilson.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've only seen a few of his things outside of The Office, like Super.
Super's good.
Super's
Maybe I'm
fun.
thinking of
Super.
Elijah Wood. is the
Elijah
big-
Wood is. Yeah.
Elijah Wood's a big horror movie
Yeah.
fan.
But it's fun. I
Yeah.
don't think it was amazing,
I
but
like the music a lot.
yeah,
It's
music
like-
was good.
Yeah.
Lee Whannell wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've been on this comedy kick. We watched like 40-Year-Old Virgin, Zack
Okay.
and Miri, American Pie, Black Sheep, which didn't hold up.
Black Sheep. Yeah, I figured.
It was rough.
Yeah.
We've been watching Russian Dolls.
Oh,
on
dude.
Netflix.
Yeah, that's on my.
Is it good?
list.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
good.
it's awesome.
I'm 6 episodes in. It's a nice the way it unfolds is well done.
Yeah, it goes in a territory that I was not expecting, and I appreciate.
Really?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So did you guys hear the controversy in it right now?
About the show.
Minor controversy about Netflix.
Mm-mm.
And like Steven Spielberg came out and talked
Oh,
about how
yeah,
he
yeah.
basically said like streaming is crap. Is
Yeah.
basically what he said.
Is that
And-
the headline of the article?
Yeah. And I guess Netflix fired back at him through Twitter, and they were like,
Well, no. Spielberg said these movies on Netflix should be up for Emmys, not Oscars
Yeah.
and stuff like that, because these are made for TV movies. And I
"Oh
was
yeah, I
like,
guess they are. Yeah, they're in a way they're
but what's
they're
the
TV.
difference anymore? It's not the same.
There's
anymore.
there's no difference.
Back in the day, it was different.
It's a
Now
quality
not.
difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, now
But-
you're saying
but-
that like, but I guess like Twitter fired back at them, and they're like, we care about cinema here at Netflix, and like,
Really?
yeah, and I
Because,
was like,
you know,
Netflix,
because-
I was like, chill out. I was like, you guys don't care about. I
Yeah.
was like, cinema.
Like-
you guys care about content.
Like 2% of their content is like actually incredible stuff. The rest
Yeah.
is just like trash.
Other TV is legit.
Not like
Yeah.
that's a low percentage, but I'm just saying like
Oh, I see what
when
you're
you
saying.
watch like
overall content.
when you watch like like a plot line in a TV like a Netflix TV original.
yeah,
Like by the end you're just like okay whatever. And
that's
then
not
if you,
true. There's a lot of Netflix shows.
I'm saying that there are, but at the same time, mostly in my opinion,
Yeah.
there are not like shows. There are shows that are just a total like just like okay whatever.
that's fair.
And
Yeah,
even
and
like even like their movie content, like we talked about Bird Box, like that was like highly praised by people, but when you watch it, like from my perspective, when I watched it, I thought it was a total waste of time.
I think a lot of people did. I
Yeah.
don't think a lot of people like Bird Box at all. I think that was
There's-
pretty.
it's a weird. It's a weird mix.
But I
of
just think
people
that
watching
they
that
turn
movie.
out all this content, and
Yeah.
not all of it's hitting.
no, I
the
know.
Yeah.
right-
And
the
I
right
wouldn't
thing.
say, but I wouldn't say like Netflix is cinema. Like that's not
Nah,
cinema.
I wouldn't
right?
qualify
Yeah.
it. I qualify it as,
I wouldn't qualify it as cinema.
just a streaming service that has original content.
Yeah, I was
So
not-
you're saying I'll just use Roma as an example.
Yeah.
So Roma's not a motion picture.
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have preferred to see it in theaters.
It's weird. But it's weird to call something like that cinema if it's never in a movie theater.
But it's still cinema. It's the exact same thing as any
Cinema
other
is
movie.
like a theater setting. That's what I qualify as a cinema.
So you're saying that if you watch it on Netflix, it's not a movie, but if you see it in theaters,
Well, I mean, it's a movie, but like theater setting is like technically true cinema with film, a film reel, everything, a projector.
So you guys agree with Spielberg?
I'd say
I see both sides.
Yeah.
What I see from it is what Netflix is saying is that we're offering something to people that don't always have the money to go to movie theaters. And I'm like, okay, that's a very valid point. Yeah. And what I see from Spielberg's perspective is I see that, yes, like, it's a bummer that the movie theaters experience is practically dead now.
It's dying.
It's dying, and it's dying like a
I don't
sudden
think it is,
death.
but
It is. Once, I'll tell you the final nail in the coffin is going to be when movies are available in the theaters at the same time they are available
VOD,
through VOD.
which is happening.
Yeah,
it's already
Which,
happening.
but it's minor movies, like something like Captain Marvel. Once
Yeah.
Captain Marvel is like that status is available in your home theater, at the same time it comes out in theaters.
It's not going to.
But if it will,
No, I
eventually
don't think
it'll
it
get
will.
to that
I
point.
don't know if that.
Yeah.
Technically, I don't know if like Marvel will, but there will start being movies that are like available VOD day of, or not necessarily day of, but a couple days after theater release.
I would go ahead and call it and say that if, say for instance like this, and I would buy into this, if it was like, okay, you can either go see Captain Marvel in theaters and spend $12 on a ticket, or you can spend
like $30.
$30 on it at home, and you can invite everybody over to watch it. And
Well,
I
yeah,
feel
that's
like if
what's
those,
going on right now. But you're
but
never,
no, I'm saying to that status, those bigger movies.
They're not.
When you're talking about VOD, it's smaller movies.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like
Yeah.
That's what I mean by like Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like if it's
I don't think they'll ever happen.
if it ever gets to that, it
It
will.
would be
I don't
it
think
would,
it
it would be
will.
a long time from now.
The theater experience is dying, and that's what
I don't
sucks.
think it is. You could look at the numbers. I don't think it's dying.
I think
I
it
think
is.
I think it's kind of dying.
I think it's not going to die any more than it is. I mean, if you look at the time of this recording, Marvel just came out, and it made, I think it was like, it was above 40 million. I think it was 60 million just on Friday alone, which is
Yeah.
insane. It's not dying.
But that's the thing.
I mean, I think
it's-
that's the reason why they have these like Movie Pass and AMC has the stubs and Cinema Credit is because
Yeah.
they're trying to churn out more.
oh, I totally agree. That's
Yeah.
why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's.
But
like,
that's why I
dead.
think it's also
Yeah.
dying because they're expecting people not to see the movies, but also generate the same numbers as if
That's
they
fair.
were.
And I feel, but I also see Spielberg's side where it's like, yeah, I do want the theater
Yeah, there's
experience.
two
back.
sides
I
of
want
that,
So
the-
right?
let me ask you a question. Okay, Scorsese's Irishman that's
Yeah.
coming out. So that's a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
think
guess
so?
in a way, yeah. I mean, it's made like if streaming's the new TV, it's a TV movie.
if the
right?
quality
think it is.
doesn't match, like we have to see the change in quality as far as like the cinematography and all that goes, because if there's a downgrade in his, if you compare Goodfellas,
Yeah.
which is like, I think the cinematography is great in that movie. If you like compare that to like whatever the Irishman is like, and if it's
Yeah.
like a downgrade, then for sure it's like a TV.
But you
And
said-
you know what? And it won't be because I think they gave him like $200 million to
There you
make
go.
it.
It's his
Okay.
most expensive movie of all time. So,
Yeah,
but you're
'cause
saying
all that aging CGI. they're
Oh
putting
yeah,
into it.
okay.
I
But
guess I'm just playing. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate.
yeah, you have to.
But I just don't know what the qualifications of a made-for-TV movie.
It's hard to
consist
tell
of.
because
Yeah.
this is such a new thing.
And
Well,
I
I know,
agree,
but
and I think that's a
maybe-
good way of putting it. But I think a movie's a movie.
Yeah,
And I think
Yeah.
going back to the whole Spielberg thing, saying it shouldn't be up for Oscars, I think it's
that's why.
stupid.
That's why there's two sides to every.
Yeah, and I think that's I love Spielberg, but I feel like that's like
I think they're scared because it is kind of a bummer for them because it's like
it's terrifying.
it's what they've known forever. Like the fact that Scorsese's movie is going to come out in theaters the same day it comes out on Netflix.
Okay.
yeah.
But it's
I'm
scary
hoping-
for them because that's been their like that's
Yeah, you're attacking basically like the foundation of their film career.
Yeah.
It's like you got these new technology things coming in, they're rolling in, they're starting to take over
Yeah.
more viewerships. Nobody's like, there's no, I wouldn't say there's that much of an appreciation for cinema as much as there was, say, like 30 years ago.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And it
I
depends.
think it's definitely evolving and definitely changing, and I think it's for the worse because I think movies are meant to be seen in the theater setting.
depends.
I
With
think-
with a very large group of people.
Yeah.
Not like a group of 5 people.
Yeah, but the thing is where we're at right now. I mean, I love the cinema. Don't get me wrong. I love going to theaters, but I have watched more than I'll ever watch my entire life if it wasn't available for
Sure.
having the access to
That's
this.
fair.
And some movies I wouldn't see in theaters, but I see them on Netflix original, and I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'll kill 2 hours. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that was worth watching.
And I will
But-
say part of the reason, I'll just get this out real quick. And I'll say part of it is because the movie prices are raising,
Yes.
and no one can afford movies.
Oh, totally.
on
Oh
a
yeah,
very-
because I was gonna go see Spider-Man and Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It's coming out in like a month. And
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'll spend $1 on a red box.
So I
just saved $25.
I dropped money on the stubs.
Me and my fiance.
I dropped money on the stubs just because, like, I'm spending. If I see 2 movies in 1 week, I'm basically spending about $40
No,
after
totally.
concessions and
Yeah.
stuff. But now that I have the stubs program, I can see 3 movies for the price of that I would have seen without it.
Yeah.
So, like,
I-
that's nice.
What's killing it is, and it's been like a slow death over time. It's just kind of picking up even more pace now with the
Yeah.
movie theaters. Is that it's the availability, because it used to just be one theater, and you've seen pictures of this stuff where it's like Jaws, and it's a line around the corner.
Yeah, I miss those
because
days.
it's one theater, and it's like everyone's packing into this one theater to see this one movie.
Yeah.
But once multiplexes kicked up in the late 80s, early 90s, you could see any movie at any
Which
time.
is the equivalent of like a streaming service rolling in now.
Yeah, and then it was, for us, we grew up like our high school years, in our 20s. We really grew up with a lot of midnight showings. We
Yeah.
used to do midnight showings all the time, and they were
Yeah.
exciting
Yeah.
because it was a packed theater. It was like an event.
It's still a thing.
Oh,
now.
you stayed up
It's
past
not
your-
anymore.
Yes, it is.
They got rid of midnight
They
shows,
did.
and
No,
basically,
I know, and now, yeah, and
Well,
now
hold on,
the
basically what they do now is they do 8 o'clock the night before the movie opens
Yeah.
up. They do 9 o'clock. They do 10 o'clock.
Yeah, they usually
do
have, like,
11
2
o'clock.
showings.
So now they
that
just
day
come out
before.
on Thursday now.
Yeah, so now they're doing more availability, and they've killed the midnight showing,
Yeah.
and now they're doing like now, and that's what I mean by the final
okay with
stake
that,
in the
yeah.
theater coffin is going to be once movies come out on VOD the same time as
Yeah,
theaters.
I just don't think it's going to happen for hundreds of years.
Hundreds
I
of
wouldn't be
years.
surprised in the next
Hundreds of years.
50 years if movie theaters, like you started seeing a lot of movie
I
theater
say
change just break.
I say in the next 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd see 10 years.
Yeah.
The
I
only
will-
thing, here's what will save it though. If there's too many streaming channels and people get pissed by it, like because
You have to
streaming is
pay.
getting out
You have
of
to pay $20 for this one. You got to
Yeah.
pay $15 for this
the
one.
movie theaters
Pay
might come
$30
back.
for this one.
I will say my last comment on this, and I don't want to keep dragging
I'm done.
on. Okay. I think Spielberg is having like the old man mentality.
I agree.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I think Scorsese is having this like open mind about like, yeah, I'll do a
Yeah.
movie for Netflix.
Dude,
It's
that's
like,
why- that's why
good for
Scorsese's
you, man.
awesome.
Good
He's,
for you.
he's adapting to the change.
Yes.
Is what people need to do.
Yes.
He did it last on Wolf of Wall Street, where he was like, and that basically that whole movie brats group,
Yeah.
we're all like we need to make movies on film, and Scorsese's like, you know what, I'm gonna make Wolf of Wall Street on digital.
Yeah,
This is
whatever
my
it
first
takes.
digital movie.
Whatever it takes
Yeah.
to make it.
I've got to change.
And that's what's cool.
like,
And that-
good for you,
And I'm not
man,
saying
like-
Spielberg doesn't love movies, but
No.
He also hasn't really
Scorsese-
made a good movie in like he's made
Ready Player
boring.
One's okay.
No, I actually
Yeah.
like that movie
Yeah.
a lot, but like The Post.
Yeah.
What else does he come out? Like,
Lincoln was kind of boring,
Like
man.
Lincoln.
I wanted
And that's-
Lincoln. I wanted
yeah.
Lincoln
It's
to
like,
be so
it's
good.
like go back
and I
to
was
the
like,
because I just rewatched like all
so
the Indiana
burnt on
Jones
it.
movies.
Yeah.
It's like those movies are fun as shit.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the action packed.
Hook.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean-
like get back to your roots and
Yeah.
do some fun action movies.
I think it's
And-
because he's just such a big name, and like they'll give him as much money as he needs
yeah,
to
stop
make a
doing these
movie.
boring
I think
movies,
that's what it
Dude,
comes
and
down
I know
that's
to.
you
what-
listen to this podcast, Spielberg. Like, just stop making poor movies.
Go
And that's what-
back.
Scorsese keeps taking chances, man. Scorsese's
Yeah.
what, 98? And
He's 90 years old with his thick out.
I think he's in his late 70s now, but
dude, and he keeps taking chances, and
Yeah.
he keeps
Yeah.
so
thriving.
all these older filmmakers need to just take chances, adapt to it, and take advantage of it while it's still
Yeah.
here. You know. So
Last thing I watched, and I'll let you guys talk. Watch Star is Born.
okay.
yeah,
Did you watch it, Hanto?
No, I didn't.
Dude,
Is it worth it?
yes.
yeah. I
Dude,
think honestly,
I watched it, and I was like, all right, that was pretty good. And then the next couple days after, I was like, man, that really
Did he
stuck
get
with me.
Did he get snubbed as director?
It was really good. Who,
was-
won,
yeah.
who won Best Director?
Alfonso? Or not?
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón.
I don't know. As much as I don't like Roma, that is a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
yeah.
Did you hear about the controversy with that though?
About the winning the Oscar?
No,
Is
about
it,
him.
it's because it
'cause
didn't,
it's a
come out.
TV
It didn't
movie?
come out in theaters.
Okay, that's the
What
weird.
are your guys' thoughts on that?
He, I guess he did the cinematography too. You won for cinematography, but I guess some other guy did cinematography for him, but basically signed a contract that was like no, like.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
Yeah, like
Under this disclosure, I'll be. My name will be Alfonso Cuarón. Is like. The,
yeah, it's weird. Like he
Alan
signed,
Smith, eh?
he signed
Yeah.
his like name away so that he wouldn't be used as cinematographer.
No, I didn't know
and
that.
Alfonso Cuarón would.
Very
yeah.
That's kind of a shitty.
So I was like, oh, it's weird, but like everyone's like, oh well, he should say something, but it's like, no, he signed a contract saying that he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Like he
Interesting.
gave
Yeah, I
it
didn't
up.
hear that
he
at
gave
all.
up that right.
nice.
But oh yeah, dude, Spike Lee winning the Oscar. Black Panther won like 4.
Yeah.
Did it really? Oh yeah, I guess it
Green
did.
Book won Best Picture.
Dude, I'm excited for Ludwig Göransson, who won the score for Black Panther.
Oh, did he win? Okay.
Yeah, you guys need to check out that Making the Track for the Black Panther theme.
Yeah.
He like basically died in the Childish Gambino.
Okay.
He dissects like from beginning how he started and then where it is at the end.
Really?
Oh, okay.
It's like a couple videos on YouTube. But
Yeah,
yeah,
send it out.
awesome,
That
awesome
sounds cool.
stuff.
But no, Star is Born.
I liked it.
It was.
Is Gaga good?
I think if it wasn't a remake,
It's like the 5th remake.
fourth. Yeah, it's like the 4th remake.
Yeah, 4th. Yeah.
But if it wasn't a 4th remake, I could see it winning.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say though, the chemistry between Cooper and Lady Gaga is amazing.
Yeah.
I would.
Chris
Chris
Cooper,
Cooper.
Lady Gaga.
I'm just an 18-year-old man.
I'm just a boy.
He was the boy in Passenger 57.
I'm a little boy bad guy. Their chemistry is amazing.
Cool.
It really.
All
good.
right, I'll check it out.
But yeah, that's what I got. Hanto, what'd you watch?
I watched Alita.
What'd you think?
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Did you guys see it?
No. Was it good?
I thought it was fine.
I heard it was good. I
Yeah.
didn't hear amazing things. I heard it was good.
There's definitely like some, because it's based off a Japanese comic book,
Yeah.
like a manga or whatever. There's definitely some like whitewashing.
Really?
Is there really?
Well, like Christoph Waltz's name is Ito, which is like a Japanese like IDO. Like his last name is Ito. It's just like this German European like playing this guy with a Japanese last name. You're like,
Really?
that's
Yeah.
cool. Like, right, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, there's definitely like whitewashing. It's definitely like an anime based off an anime.
Is this a return to form for Rodriguez?
It's interesting. It's like his biggest budget, I think,
Yeah.
because like he did the Shark Boy in Lava and Spy Kids.
Yeah.
And those are definitely like, oh, they're just on a green screen. You
Totally.
know? But this one felt like they did actually pretty all right with the special effects and stuff. And
Okay.
Yeah, and he's weird because I want to say I heard last time he was going to be remaking Escape from New York.
yeah.
But then then recently in like the past couple months, Lee Winnell is going to be the one
That's
who's
what I heard.
remaking.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's
Lee
fine.
Winnell could do every
Dude,
movie.
That's what I'm telling
Dude.
you.
Yeah.
After
They've-
Cooties, I'm like, I'm on board.
I love Lee Winnell.
But like,
yeah.
it's my thing with like Jordan Peele. It's the same thing with Lee Winnell and Jordan Peele, and there's like other people I can't think of examples of. But like they threw them like every single option
Yeah.
in the wind. Whether like Jordan Peele, like don't get me wrong.
I mean, they're offering him.
I think
stuff
Get
left and
Out
right.
was awesome. I think
Yeah.
I think Us looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it was like as soon as he did Get Out, they're like, yeah, here's Twilight Zone, Candyman. Like you can produce this,
Why
this,
not,
and
man?
this.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. I was like, guys,
Let him
he's-
make something else to see if
I was
it's-
like, yeah, he's 1 for 1 for sure right now.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, that's a lot of crap to be thrown at somebody
Some classic, like
so
classic
quick.
stuff.
So I can't imagine his anxiety being like
I think he can
Like,
handle it.
that'd be
I
so
think he can
tough to
it.
handle.
I believe in him.
But same with Lee Winnell. Lee Winnell's been in the game for a while with like Saw.
Saw
and-
is like his first foray, I feel like, into.
but he did Upgrade, and I haven't seen Upgrade yet. And I
Upgrade's
need to
fun.
watch it. But like all of a sudden they're like, yeah, here's Invisible Man, here's Escape from New York. Like you do whatever the hell
It's,
you
you
want.
know,
I
I'll
was
tell you
like,
what it
holy
is.
crap! Like
It's because you can make a movie that costs $5 million, and then your movies are turning out 100 plus.
Yeah.
And people are like, cool, you just made us $100 million
All
or
the
whatever.
money.
So they're like, here, take these.
yeah, Jordan Peele's just I only bring him because it's like he did Key and Peele for like
He did that
3
in
or 4
Keanu.
And,
Yeah, and Keanu, and then all-
Mad TV first. And
Yeah, that's right.
But like then they just kind of gave him all this stuff, and it looks awesome. Like, have you seen
Oh.
the Twilight Zone trailer yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
looks cool.
Awesome.
And I'm really excited about
I'm
it.
still not downloading CBS.
I might. Or is it
I might.
NBC? CBS.
It's CBS. Yeah, CBS All Access.
One of us will, and we'll watch it all together.
Yeah.
But
We'll go 3 ways on it.
3 ways.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
3-way. Let's have a 3-way.
Well,
It's on CBS All Access.
Okay.
but I think his stuff looks really good. I'm just like, man, that's so quick to give him so much.
That's a lot,
you know?
lot of stuff.
Yeah, but same with Lee Winnell.
But yeah, Alita. Going back to Alita, it was fine. Yeah, it was good. Like, it wasn't like horrible, and it wasn't like fantastic. There's definitely like stuff that they could have erased from that.
So you're saying it was a movie?
It was a movie. It was like
Okay.
Passenger 57. It wasn't great. It wasn't awful.
That's your reviews. You compared it to Passenger 57.
They definitely could have like erased some of the plot threads in that movie.
Yeah.
And then by the end, they definitely like introduced somebody in the movie. You're like, oh wow, like he's in this movie.
Yeah.
And then I definitely watched the sequel. Like that's where I'm at with the movie, pretty much.
Okay.
And then I also watched Russian Doll,
Okay.
which is really good. I think it's like one of Netflix's best series.
Never heard of it.
Okay. I also watched Umbrella Academy.
How's that?
I actually liked it a lot.
I heard
yeah.
I hear mixed things.
I mean, it's just like your typical like. I think it's definitely one of the better superhero stories like on Netflix.
Okay.
It's a fun like just Yeah, just fun. It's not affiliated with Marvel or DC. It's like its own thing.
Yeah.
It's written by Gerard Way, who is the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Really?
He's the one. He wrote the comic book series that it's based off of.
I didn't know that.
I kind of want to watch it just based on.
It's
that.
fun. It's a fun.
Okay.
It's a fun show.
I'm very interested.
It's only
in it.
8 episodes, I think.
Okay.
So it's a short
Alright.
watch. And then I watched Captain Marvel.
Which is.
It's a movie.
How was
It's
Captain
like
Marvel?
Passenger 57. It's not great. It's not awful.
If this
Yeah.
is your basis for movies now,
It's like a B minus.
Is it
minus.
better or worse than Doctor Strange?
Oh, Doctor Strange is like top 3 for me, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I like that movie.
I
a
still
lot.
haven't watched it. I still
like
haven't
Doctor
watched it.
Strange a lot.
I don't know. I kind of thought it was like
He's like one of my favorite
The
characters
okay Marvel
in the. He's like one of my favorite characters in the MCU.
what you got? No, go on.
Oh,
You got something?
what's going on?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say something. Are you done?
I think so.
Matt, what
but
do you
yeah,
got?
yeah. Captain Marvel.
Eh.
Check it out. It's fine.
It's a
yeah. I'm
movie.
gonna check it out this
fine.
week. I watched the Black Noir documentary on Shudder.
Oh, yeah, we watched this together. Did you watch
me and
this?
Chris
What
watched
is
it
this?
together.
There is a movie on Shudder called
Black Noir?
Horror Noir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, sorry. It's
I keep
horror.
saying it
Yeah, I
too,
keep
yeah.
saying Black Noir.
Yeah.
It's horror noir.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's a genre. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's 2 genre names back to back. It's horror noir. Like that's
It's really
genre
weird to
names.
say, yeah.
Is
Those are
it
both
like
genre
what
names.
kind of movies?
It's like African American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
African Americans in
it's-
horror film.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically the whole documentary is like Black history and horror films.
Cool.
Going back to like 1920 or whatever.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
explore a movie before 1982?
Have I?
Yeah.
If it's in a documentary.
Oh.
No, I have seen. You forget. I think Citizen Kane is a phenomenal movie.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Citizen Kane.
I've never seen it. I
Really?
don't watch movies past.
Oh, Citizen
I don't
Kane.
watch movies before 1982.
And it was a good documentary. I really liked it. It was like super informative. And it's like
Based on a book.
Okay.
it's based on a book, and I would say it's like the documentary just basically builds up to Get Out. Like Get Out is
Oh,
like
okay,
the
nice.
game
changer.
It's the game
Cool,
changer.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow, brothers.
It's so it's like it's really cool like to see because it's a lot of those movies is we grew up watching, especially the '90s horror that they talk about.
Where's
in it.
some,
We're like, we watched People Under the Stairs.
Okay,
We
so like
watched
that.
Tales from the Hood.
Well, yeah, I mean they go back from. Was it Birth of a Nation?
Yeah, that's like
They
the
start off in
first-
that, and then they go through some of the Universal monsters, and they go through the 80s, 90s,
Okay.
and they just talk about how black people like their roles in horror
scoping
movies.
the cinescape,
and then
of,
and then to where they're at now. Like it is like it starts off with Get Out, and it's the build up to this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it basically bookends with Get Out.
cool.
Yeah,
It's like
great. There's a lot of people
yeah.
on it. Ken Foree,
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a
Keith David.
yeah, it's Keith David and Ken Foree
love Keith
sitting.
David,
they're
dude.
sitting with each other, and I was
And-
like, man,
Wait, who is it?
Ken Foree and Keith
Okay,
David.
nice.
And
And I was
yeah.
like, what a cool like.
Yeah.
I would love to just talk to those two like, in the same room.
If
for,
you haven't
like-
listened to the podcast Darkest Night, it's like an anthology with like a bookend like overarching theme or story,
Yeah.
but it's like individual stories like Tales from the Crypt or Twilight Zone. Keith David does the narration for season 3.
Okay.
And he has a nice voice.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, check it out for sure.
Good old 20-year-old Keith David.
Yeah, exactly.
What else have we been watching? I'm watching these movies that were produced by the Toho Studios. in
Yeah,
Japan.
you told me about
I
this.
do not know what that is.
Okay, they're the studio that produced like Godzilla movies.
The Matthew Broderick one.
Yeah. So they made these horror movies. They're 3 vampire films back in the 70s.
Are they called? What are they called?
Well, I have it in a collection. It's called the Bloodthirsty Trilogy.
Okay.
But they all have Dracula in the title some way or in form. But Dracula's never in any of them.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. It's like a weird like promoting kind of thing where they put Dracula in the title, but there's nobody named Dracula in the movies.
trying to think.
Oh,
of,
but
like,
it's still about a Dracula
It's about
type.
It's about vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, but they just threw Dracula in the title to like grab people.
I'd be so upset.
But it's cool because they're like Hammer horror films made in Japan that are like super violent
Oh, okay.
with like blood
And
spurting
Japanese
and stuff.
loves that blood spurt.
Yeah, they're really entertaining.
Yeah.
And they're like they're short.
It's kind of
and they're
like
poppy and-
like when you look at Executive Decision, you see Steven Seagal in the cast,
yeah.
but then he's like just not in that movie at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kinda like
exactly like that. That's what I was thinking. I've been watching that. We're watching Deadwood.
Cool.
Deadwood's cool.
Yeah, I started watching it a while ago. I need to get back into it
Yeah.
because I had been watching Justified. I had been watching Justified.
You love that show, man.
That show's awesome.
I know.
Justified's on my I tried watching it one time.
It's rough. It's like,
and I was like, this is kind of like, I was
get
like,
through like just the first few episodes.
Yeah.
Once you get in the swing of things of who like Justified is, and
Johnny Justified.
yeah, the main character's name is Justified,
Always been on Justified.
Yeah, oh.
and Walton Goggins. Once you get like the relationship between these two,
Yeah.
and like the law versus the the criminal side, it gets into some awesome territory.
Yeah, I was the same way with Deadwood. I watched
Yeah.
Deadwood at like a couple of years back, and I tried it like 2 or 3
Yeah, that's how
episodes
it was,
deep,
too.
and I wasn't digging it.
yeah,
Same with Breaking Bad,
yeah.
and I really like it now. So it's like I'm gonna try Justified after
It's
this.
kind of like The Wire, where they throw you right in the middle, smack in the middle of everything, and they don't really introduce the character names or anybody. You just have to like kind of piece it all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you watch anything else, Matt?
That's pretty much been it. Like since Valentine's Day, since we watched Valentine. Yeah, I've been watching just kind of like I've been trying to watch more TV. I've been playing more video games, so it's like I'm playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2,
Ooh.
which I finally finished.
Yeah,
I'm excited,
nice.
but
How are other aspects of your life?
just pretty normal, dude. Just
Yeah.
boring winter stuff. You know?
Boring winter stuff. Okay, cool. Well, that's gonna wrap up Passenger 57, but it's not gonna wrap up martial arts.
martial arts.
Martial arts. I went through a list of movies, and I was like, man, what are we gonna do for another martial arts movie? And I have decided that we are watching Time Cop,
Woo!
the cop that can't be stopped, and starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is one of the leaders in martial arts. Matt's shaking his head. Why are you shaking your head?
Dude, I think he does the splits once in that movie. I'm not sure he does a lot of martial arts in that movie, does he?
He does some fighting moves.
So we're not counting this as a martial arts
I
movie?
don't know. We can. I'm just not sure he does a lot of
Well,
martial
it's either
arts.
gonna
You should pick like Double Impact.
I was gonna say Hard Target, but if you
Ooh,
guys
Hard
don't want to watch
Target's
Hard
pretty
Target,
Hard Target would probably be.
even though it's like mostly guns, but he does
Yeah.
use martial arts. That movie's pretty awesome.
well, what would have been a good Jean-Claude Van Damme movie?
Hard Target rules.
Well, what's a good one to talk about? Then?
No, we can do Time Cop.
Hard Target.
Time Cop we've been talking about doing forever.
Hard
but
Target rules.
Let's do
but
Time
yeah,
Cop.
Do you wanna do Time Cop?
We're doing your movie.
Yeah, we're doing your
We did
movie,
Passenger
I guess.
57 this week.
Because
We did your movie next week.
I was gonna do either Time Cop or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1990.
They don't even. Do they do martial arts in the movie?
They
Or do
spin
just-
on their shells.
Yeah, they spin on their
They
shells
do-
and talk a lot.
Yeah, and eat pizza.
'Cause I don't think they can see when they fight.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
kind
Their
of
eyes
like
are where
Ninja,
the mouth is in the costume. So
I kind of want to do Ninja Turtles just because I haven't seen that movie in probably 15 years.
maybe we should say that for like costume
Turtle
character.
Month.
Turtle
yeah,
Month.
Yeah, Turtle Month.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna do Time Cop with Jean-Claude Van Damme from like 94.
It's
95,
94, I
don't know.
think.
Where he does the splits. So thank you so much for joining us. Please rate and review us on any social media platforms. Any requests, please let us know. We love hearing from you. I'm Chris.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Honto.
We'll see you next time.